Sassy Sirens, how are you? How you doing? We are coming to you with something new, and we're going to test it out. We're going to see if we like it. We're going to see if we appreciate it, and we'll do more of it if we like it. It's called Coffee and Conversations. So you'll notice this has a bit of a different vibe. We've got the camera closer, a little bit more of an intimate discussion. And what we're going to do in Coffee Conversation, we're going to first talk about a beverage. So we'll drink a beverage and we'll review it and talk about what we think about it. And then we'll talk about whatever we want to talk about that has to do with the Starbucks family, the coffee family, anything of that nature. So again, we're going to test it out. We're going to see what we think. And if we enjoy it, we'll do more of it. And if we don't enjoy it, we don't enjoy it. That's life, and that's all right. So first, we're going to start with the beverage. And this is I know you see the Dunkin' Donut label in here, and you're probably wondering what's going on. What's going on the Sassy Siren? Why we looking at Dunkin' Donuts? Dunkin' Donuts has a couple of good coffee offerings, and I want to review them and share them, and for y'all to review and share some of your coffee offerings. Because on the Sassy Sirens, yes, we love all things Starbucks merchandise, but we also like good coffee. So we're gonna talk about good coffee regardless of who makes the good coffee, if that's all right. Okay. Starbucks also needs a little competition. It's okay. It's okay for folks to compete with Starbucks, because you know what? It keeps Starbucks on the toes now. Okay, keeps them on the toes. Now. Actually, and we'll also talk about the cup, because we've got a cup here to pour this beverage in, because we of course don't want to keep, it is Dunkin' Donuts, and we do want to show some respect to the Siren. And this is, like I said, the Butter Pecan iced coffee. And we're going to talk about the Butter Pecan iced coffee, because that's my favorite iced coffee drink, is the Butter Pecan, and it's a seasonal beverage, so we'll talk about it. But so we're going to go ahead and pour the drink in here, because again, I know that we can't have this Dunkin' Donuts logo just sitting out here loud and proud like this. Not in the Sassy Siren, we can't. Now this beverage, like I said, it's called the Butter Pecan iced coffee, cream and sugar. Okay. Now when you're pouring it in, you see you got to hold it a little bit to make sure you're getting all your delicious syrups out of here. Okay. This drink is normally sold at Dunkin' Donuts from May to normally that August time, when pumpkin spice starts to come in and be real popular. But to me, the best iced coffee beverage of the season, hands down, is the Dunkin' Donuts Butter Pecan iced coffee. Hands down. When you order it, I order it with cream and sugar. So I normally say, hey, I'm looking at, and this size is a medium. Okay, that's what a medium cup looks like. I order a medium Butter Pecan iced coffee, cream, and sugar. Okay, and when I go to Dunkin' Donuts, I also bring me a Starbucks cup with me. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. And when they make my beverage, I then pour it in my Starbucks cup very, very swiftly, because I haven't seen any of the coffee retailers be able to compete with the Starbucks merchandise. Not Pete's, not Dunkin' Donuts, none of those folks have been able to compete with the Starbucks merchandise. But now that we've got our beverage in an appropriate cup, we can talk about the beverage for a second. We'll also talk about this cup. This is, I think this is from 2017. That's what this is. I'll get a little closer there for you. It is the stainless steel rose gold cold cup. One of my favorite cups of all time. This also came in a silver, if I recall. I would love if Starbucks went and did more of these very stainless steel. It's plain, yet it is very jarring. Like when you look at it, it affects you. It's rose gold, it's plain, it's simple, it absolutely affects you. So that's what this cup is. I think it was from 2017. But now let's talk about our beverage, shall we? The Butter Pecan iced coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, it's what's up. It is May to August is what I believe it is, because then we start to see pumpkin spice really show up in that August, September time. I wish it was a year-round flavor. Somebody actually did on change.org.com did a petition to make Butter Pecan year-round. Whoever had that idea, brilliant. Your girl signed it, because if they could make Butter Pecan year-round, I'm here for it. But what I really wanted to discuss in this episode of Coffee and Conversations is, can we talk about the coffee prices? Can we talk about, have you been in a Starbucks lately and seen these coffee prices? Okay. These coffee prices, these coffee prices, these coffee prices. Starbucks just did another round of price increases. Yes, you heard that right. Another round of price increases. So now when you go into a store and order you like a grande iced caramel macchiato or even a warm caramel macchiato, $6. Yes, the beverage will cost you $6 now. And I'm interested, Sassy Sirens, what are your thoughts about these prices? I gotta tell you, I think Starbucks has priced itself out, because the iced caramel macchiato or the warm macchiato is not worth $6. It's a good beverage, right? The iced caramel macchiato is my favorite Starbucks beverage. And for me, Starbucks is really big in the winter. I really like the winter beverages they do. So the pistachio latte, the maple pecan latte, the creme brulee, right? So a lot of those seasonal beverages. And I would also like to see Starbucks get a little bit more creative with some of their drinks as well, because we're seeing a lot of repetition and just again, I don't know if these prices are worth $6. Now, I went to Starbucks is doing this 50% off a cold beverage on Tuesday, so hopefully, Sassy Sirens, you've been receiving that coupon code in your app to get you a 50% off of any I think it's any cold beverage, I believe, on Tuesdays. And I went this past Tuesday, ordered me a venti iced caramel macchiato, and then I got a grande iced caramel macchiato for someone else. And even though I had a 50% off coupon, so I used the 50% off coupon on the venti, even at a 50% off coupon, do you know that those two beverages combined came to $9? $9. So, you know, I used to be a person who went to Starbucks a good 3 to 4 times per week. And got me a beverage. You know, I went on a regular just to look for cups, but I would also buy a beverage. And now you're lucky if I buy a beverage at a Starbucks 3 to 4 times per month, right? And a significant part of that is the prices, but a significant part is the experience has also become dramatically different when you go into a Starbucks. You know, years ago, you had a great experience when you went in Starbucks. They had associates that were thrilled to be there, thrilled to help you. And now that's really not the case. I mean, this particular example of when I went to Starbucks on Tuesday and paid $9 for 2 drinks, even though I had a 50% off coupon, the associate that was ringing me up wasn't even paying attention to me. Like, he was fooling around with the other associates. I think that's kind of the thing now when you go into a Starbucks, like, they're not really talking to you. They're not interacting with you. Half the time your drinks aren't even being made very well because they're playing with each other, right? So I'm standing here ordering my drink, and midway I just stop because clearly he wasn't paying attention. He's like knick-knacking around with the other associates, literally laughing and joking with them, not even looking at me as I'm giving him my order. So I just stopped speaking, and he like looks at me, and I'm like, "Oh, are you ready for me now?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'm ready. I've been ready." Oh, okay. Because it wasn't clear because you were socializing with those folks over there. So I wasn't sure if you were ready for me. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm ready." I start speaking again. He starts knick-knacking around. So I just stopped. Now, mind you, a line is starting to form. When I first walked in, there wasn't a line. But now a line is starting to form because other folks have come in behind me. He's knick-knacking around, playing around, not taking the order. So I just stop. And he looks at me again. And I look in the back. "Are you sure you're ready? Because I want to wait until you can give me your full attention so you can be sure that you get my order correct." Right? So I think at that point he knew I wasn't playing around. So he like stopped knick-knacking around, took my order. Because I also have a coupon code, wanted to make sure that you got my total correct. Again, because with these prices, don't be mischarging me with these prices. Whew. So it's the prices have really, I think Starbucks has started to price themselves out because the experience is also extremely subpar when you go into the stores now. They used to sell merchandise online, and they said, "Hey, we're going to shut down the online store because we want to drive people back into the store because our Starbucks is all about the experience and we want people to feel the experience." And Starbucks, you don't have an experience anymore, right? As a customer, I want to share that with you. Your store is no longer an experience. And if it is an experience, it's a bad one. Because you go in, the associates are playing with each other. Half the time they're not making your drink right. And that's another thing, Sassy Sirens. I beg you, take a sip of your beverage before you leave the store. Test your beverage before you leave the store, because you are now paying exorbitant prices for these drinks. And it has to be made exactly how you want your drink to be made. And if it is not, do not feel afraid, embarrassed, ashamed, any of that, to go back to the register and ask that they remake your drink. One of my close friends, she does this every single time. She'll take a sip, and if it's even slightly off, she says, hey, this isn't right. It's missing something. She's not doing it to be difficult, but she's paying $6 for this drink now. It has to be spot on, because if it's not spot on, I'm not leaving here until you get it right. I don't care if you've got to make it 3 or 4 times. You got to make it 3 or 4 times, right? Part of it is, again, we're seeing that the retailers are having a harder time hiring folks, and their turnover is really high. So it's quite simple that a person's making your drink and they're not properly trained as of yet. So it would make sense why you're starting to see a lot of variability. I see a lot of variability from location to location of how my drinks taste. And Starbucks used to really stand on that strong. It's like your drinks are always going to taste the same regardless of what location you go to, because we train our people the same. They get the same amount of training. The program's very rigorous, and it used to be like that, a good 10 years ago. Very rigorous training at Starbucks. You were very proud to land a job there, because it was hard to get a job there. The experience was phenomenal. The store displays were gorgeous. And now, oh my word, the stores are dirty half the time. It's just, I don't know. So for me, I think them moving to this additional price increase, you've priced yourself out, Starbucks. The coffee isn't worth it. The experience isn't worth it. So, and it makes a lot more sense now to make your coffee from home. I've been working on perfecting my iced caramel macchiato recipe at home, because that is the drink that I do enjoy drinking there regularly. But again, at $6, I'm not ordering iced caramel macchiato at Starbucks on a regular for $6. I'm not doing it. So. It hits the spot every single time. That's that Butter Pecan iced coffee from Dunkin Donuts. That's what that is. Butter Pecan. Oh, hits the spot. Now, tell me what y'all think in the comments about these prices. Now, what I'll tell you about the Butter Pecan is, didn't mention the price. So, Dunkin Donuts has this, after 2 p.m. you can get you a medium beverage for $2. So that's what this is a $2 coffee. You hear that, Starbucks? Okay. A $2 coffee is what this is. And it hits the spot every single time. You hear me? Okay. It's so good that I ordered this from Dunkin Donuts at least 3 to 4 times a week. And I get it from my colleagues too. Whenever I'm in the office, I'll say, hey, getting ready to do a Butter Pecan iced coffee run. Who's in? And I always got to bring back at least 4 or 5. At least 4 or 5. Because I've gotten people hooked on the Butter Pecan. But also the price point. You can do it at $2. You can do that. Starbucks, $6? Look, nobody in my office look, when I go to Starbucks in the office, I don't tell nobody. Because don't ask me to bring you nothing back. Okay? Because I don't want to have to tell you to Venmo me, but I'm going to have to tell you to Venmo me. Because at $6 a beverage, I can't be grabbing the coffee for 4 or 5 people. That's how much is that? $30? No. And I don't want to have to ask people to Venmo me. It feels, it feels so when I go to Starbucks in the office, I just sneak on out. I don't tell nobody I'm going, because I don't want nobody to ask me to bring them nothing back, because I ain't bringing them back. You understand me? Whereas with this $2 Dunkin Donuts, I can bring back 4 or 5 of these, because that does not break the bank whatsoever. I don't have to ask you to Venmo me. I don't feel away if you don't slip me a couple of dollars. I don't feel away because it's only $2, right? So y'all tell me in the comments what y'all think about these prices. I would also like to see Starbucks offer some type of deal like the Dunkin Donuts, where it's $2 after 2. Starbucks, you need to do something. You know, I appreciate that you're doing the 50% off of a beverage, but that's Tuesdays in July, and that's it, right? Back in the day, remember they used to do the buy one get one free. Now I know they've been slowing up on that because associates were getting really upset because they were saying that Starbucks, they weren't staffing the stores appropriately to handle the increase in traffic on the days where they did buy one get one free. So I feel your pain, baristas, right? I don't want, you know, because then people be in line, they be waiting, they be mad, and then they mad at y'all. So I get why we're seeing a lot less of the buy one get one like we used to in the past. But Starbucks, y'all got to come up with something, some type of special in order to drive traffic back into your stores, because this customer, this Sassy Siren, used to be in a Starbucks store buying a beverage 3 to 4 times per week. And you're lucky if you see me buying a beverage 3 to 4 times per month. All right. Again, tell me in the comments what y'all think about these prices, and share with me what y'all think about coffee conversation. I enjoy it because it's a more intimate setting for us to connect. But tell me what you all think. And also, make sure you pick up that Dunkin' Donuts Butter Pecan iced coffee, cream and sugar. Make sure, and again, Dunkin' Donuts is dealing with the same variability in how they make drinks from location to location that Starbucks is dealing with, right? Same thing with, you know, high turnover in that industry. So, you know, they're throwing folks out there that aren't properly trained. So the same advice I give you about Starbucks, I give that to you about Dunkin' Donuts, Pete's, all of those places. Test your drink before you leave. And if it's not made appropriately, make sure you circle back and tell them what it's missing. Because it's happened to me a few times with my Butter Pecan where I've had to circle back and say, hey, I need another pump of Butter Pecan because this ain't, you know, stores are all trying to find ways to cut back. Dunkin' Donuts is notorious for this. Years ago, they tried to do the don't put ice in their iced coffee. That didn't last very long, right? Because I remember when this was happening. And I don't want to get into a tangent because we'll be on this in this coffee conversation for another 20 minutes. But I remember when this was happening. I was actually in line at a Dunkin' Donuts while the manager was telling the associates the new mandate of, hey, when people order iced coffee, don't put ice in it unless they ask you, you know, unless you give them the cup and they've asked you for ice. And I remember like listening to that being like, what in the crap? So the manager was like, you know, giving the associates the 411 on the new thing that was coming down of don't put ice in an iced coffee. I go to another Dunkin' Donuts a couple days later and order me an iced coffee. And the lady hands it to me, it has no ice in it. So I saw that play out in real life. She handed it to me. Oh, I said, ma'am, I ordered an iced coffee. She goes, no, it's cold. Ma'am, I didn't order a cold coffee. I ordered an iced coffee. So I handed it back to her. Put ice in this cup. I ordered an iced coffee. So, and I think that only happened 2 more times after that because it must have came down that wasn't working for customers because they stopped doing it. But I thought it was just hilarious that they were trying to cut costs by saying don't put ice in the iced coffee. So I think what Dunkin' Donuts, certain locations are doing is they may put the sticker on it that may say like 3 pumps on it, but they're not actually putting 3 pumps in it. Because how are they putting 3 pumps in it and it tastes dramatically different? And especially if all I have to do is ask for another pump and then it tastes right. So that I know what's happening is that you're getting some locations that are only putting 2 pumps in it, even though it says 3 pumps, they're only putting 2. So again, taste your beverage. If it does not taste right, do not leave that store until they make it right because you have paid for that beverage, okay? My feelings don't feel as hurt when it's $2 versus when it's $6. But again, if I've paid for it, I've paid for it and I want it how it's supposed to be and how you've advertised that it's supposed to be. So let me get off that soapbox. But yeah, we're seeing a ton of ways that companies are trying to kind of low-key cut costs and cut corners, and you can't be doing that when you're raising your prices at the same time because I'm not having it. So let me know in the comments what y'all think about this price increase. Between now and our next coffee and conversation, have a great day. Put in the chats. Is there a particular beverage you'd like to see me taste test and review with all of y'all and share what it tastes like or whatever. So let me know in the comments. But between now and the next video, have a fantastic day and stay sassy.